You had the first state championship game in school history, program history. What are the emotions and what does it mean?
I'm still fighting through that on my own right now to feel what they are. It's surreal. It's unbelievable. We've worked so hard to get to this moment, and so I think I need a minute to really think about it. I was just struggling. It's awesome. The girls truly deserve it. They played really hard. We put in so much time, and just buying into believing in what we're trying to do. It's a high school, but we're trying to build a program, and it's just kind of been awesome.
And talk to me about building the program and getting to this point, the culture. What's it been like being able to do that and get this program somewhere it's never been before?
A lot of work, hard work, but it's paying off right now. I mean, we try to talk about being a family, and that's what it's really about. I mean, really caring about each other, playing for each other, no matter what your role is, whether it's 1 second, a whole game, being on the bench, practicing, whatever it is, doing your part to help this team. Just because through thick and thin we need each other. Because on the floor, that's who you're playing with is your teammates. So that's what we're trying to create. And I don't know if it's by luck or by accident, but it's happening.
Yeah, and can you talk to me a little bit about this run? You upset 2 of the top 3 teams, not just seed-wise, but in the entire rankings in the state. Just what has this run been like for you as a coach, seeing your team go out and compete and beat 2 of the best teams in the entire state?
Well, we kind of knew that coming into this, the best teams were going to be here. I mean, if you look at the rankings, the exception of maybe 1, they're all here. So we knew it was going to be tough. We knew every game was going to be hard. That's what they want. That's what people want. That's what the kids want. So, we've played a lot of close games here down the stretch. Our regional game final was in overtime. We got beat. I mean, I think that was a good experience for us. We learned a lot from it. So, that's what you want. You want to play the best to be the best. So that's all I really can tell you.
Yeah, and in this game, knowing that in the first 3 quarters, it was just a game of runs. Got out to a big run, lead by 13 out to the first, then Bowman County responds. Just kind of, what was the message to the team while Bowman County's going on that run to kind of get them to calm down, settle in, saying, hey, we've got a lead, let's just play our game?
I think we just talk about when you play good teams, it's a game of runs. It's going to be. I knew when we got out early, they were coming back. I mean, they're going to make a run. They're a great team. So it's just weathering the storm and dealing with it, and then get your act together, so to speak, and get ready to start executing. I thought we just didn't execute really well in that second quarter. Got really stagnant on offense, and so once we started moving the ball again, and I just think sometimes this year in our stretch run, we've seemed to find another gear late in games, to keep pushing through. And I just think for our kids, it's just a lot of heart. I mean, when there's 3 minutes left, it was a pretty simple message: 3 minutes for the rest of your life. What's it worth? And they responded.
Yeah, and you mentioned that gear, that next gear that they seem to always find. Talk to me about that a little bit. In that third quarter, a 16-6 run to open up, and that was really the difference in the game. What was the message during halftime?
We just talked about how we had a bad second quarter. We charted a lot of things kind of off to the side so we can kind of measure that. They got to see it, they knew about it, and they already knew it before I came in. And then I think we just said, it's a game of runs. We got to be ready. We did a couple tweaks. We wanted to do a couple tweaks on the offensive end and defensive end, and then, can't really dwell too much on the past. You just got to learn from the past to move forward, and I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, and you said 3 minutes for the rest of your life. Is that the message tomorrow going to the state championship? What's that message for this team to possibly get that first title in program history?
Yeah, that's what it's about. I mean, nobody's tired. Nobody's sore. I mean, we're playing for something kind of special. So, you can't dwell on it too hard either. I mean, it's a game, and we got to be just ready to play. And they understand what it's about. I don't need to tell them anything. With this group, it was kind of like last year's group. Quieter, simpler is better. Don't make it too complicated. Just play the game, and they'll be ready.
And lastly, I want to ask you, you had Matea. She kind of sparked both of those runs in the first and third quarter, but also it seems like there's so much depth that you can go to for scoring. And you look at Abby Matlin, who had that game winner against Central McLean. Yep. What can you say about the depth that this team has, scoring-wise, and just how you can really go to anybody?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, we got a lot of different kids that can do a lot of different things. We're not like a team that does one thing. Everybody brings a little bit something different. I really thought, Matea starts us, but yet like Grace had some huge baskets in the second half. and I just kind of challenged her to post up a little harder, and I told the kids we got to go into her and let's look at her, and she had some huge baskets. So yeah, it's kind of, you know, in order to do what we're doing, you need help from everybody, and everybody's got to do their part, whether it's on offense or defense.